Prince meets princess. The music cues up and they live happily ever after, right? Well, not so fast, not in today's Western culture. Actually, when Prince meets princess, there's all kinds of twists and turns and craziness that goes on that's more like an M. Night Shyamalan movie. And so we're going to dive into that and talk about it. Welcome to the revolution. What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. What's it like, living in the future now that we've jumped forward, we've leapt forward an hour over the weekend, and we're now living in the future. Hope everyone's doing well. A couple of things I wanted to talk about on some stuff that's been going on in the news over the last week or so. I'd also like to hear your comments, so definitely like the video and leave us a comment and help us out with the old YouTube algorithm. But anyway, the whole thing with Meghan Markle, the Oprah Winfrey interview, Meghan and Prince Harry. Wait. He's not a prince anymore, right? So it's not the artist formerly known as Prince. I think it's the person who formerly was a prince. Anyway, the ex-royals, they sit down, these people that are, like world famous, wealthy, sitting down with Oprah, who is, I believe, a billionaire, definitely multi-millions, if not a billionaire. And we're discussing how terrible life is, pretty much. Just an awful, horrible. They were royals, and there were actually things expected of them. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible tragedy when you're born into privilege, real privilege, and or marry into privilege. I think she tries to kind of play that off, like, oh, I had no idea who this dude was. We just kind of fell in love. Okay. You're dating the Prince of England, one of the princes of England, and you don't realize who this guy is. All right, that might be cool, like in a Disney movie, but Disney movies are fiction. This is real life. But anyway, I just, that's just some of my rantings. But what I find interesting is, we're sitting here talking about all the horrible things they've gone through. Of course, the evil, racist, royal family, who they kind of know. I would anticipate that the royal family doesn't get into these pop culture slinging of mud battles. So they probably know they're not going to come out and really do anything. They're not going to sue the socks off of them if they're actually not telling the truth. They're not going to get out in the public sphere and, really put their weight behind. No, this is not. Anyway, I don't think they would, because their position is not really political. They don't really have any political power. They're a figurehead. They're a, kind of a national sense of, awe and pride and this kind of stuff for England, for Britain. And I just think, I think it was in really kind of poor taste and stuff. But again, clearly Harry and Meghan, clearly they're searching, they're trying to, kind of find their way. Maybe, hey, I'm not saying that someone's born a royal, they shouldn't be able to say, hey, you know what, I really don't want to do this or be this, but can't you back away and not be hateful and spiteful towards your family? Come on. That's what we got to do to get on Oprah nowadays. Here we have a woman, Oprah, billionaire, right? Cut her teeth, worked hard, as far as I know. Now sitting down with these two, again, world famous people, and we're all talking about the evils of racism and how hard it is out there and stuff. Really? Seriously? Is that what we're doing right now? But I think it's ridiculous, and I think it goes to a deeper problem in our society, and that is Jesus said to love your enemies, bless those that curse you. And even if all this stuff is completely true, that Meghan and Harry, have gone through, and the horrors of the royal family, which again I have my particular doubts just based on the interview and different things, but I don't have any insight into the royal family. They don't call me and check in or anything. But even if it is 100% true, like, we got called bad things, or they said negative things about my son because he's got some African American blood in him or whatever. Man, really? I mean, this is so our society glorifies a couple of super. Ooh, that dude's flying. A couple of super, popular, wealthy people going out and just being victims. This is where our society has come to, and it flies in the face of, right? The early Christians could have definitely, sunken into a victim mentality, and man, we were just, because they literally were victims, right? Getting killed, hunted down, thrown in prison for nothing more than having faith in Jesus. But this is not the attitude that they had. It's not a godly attitude. And so I want to encourage Christians. I know about this stuff because I listen to news and stuff. I wouldn't have watched this interview by Oprah. I don't care what's going on in the lives of Harry and Meghan. Are you kidding me? Like, who cares? Christians need to be able to disconnect to a point in our world, not be so sucked into pop culture, because what happens is when we are a part of the world, the Bible tells us that the friendship of the world is the enemy of God. We've lost that. We have lost that. I work with tons of people as one of the pastors at our church, and just working with people. I do a lot of, having people in my home and Bible studies and different things. We have lost the idea of separation from the world. Our separation, we think, is we go to church on Sunday and we, say something or other about Jesus. No, we are not supposed to be of the world. And I get it. Christians that may have been burned by, top-down authoritarian church structure, that sometimes when to be honest and fair, I'm trying to be honest and fair here. To be honest and fair, sometimes when people talk about that, I've had that happen to me. I've actually been a part of that, and I've seen it in reality. I've seen it in other people where people have been hurt, and it truly was a unscriptural, unhealthy, terrible, spiritually abusive situation. But sometimes it's really just in our head. We as Americans, we have our American proclivities to individualism, which to a point is good, of autonomy to a point is good, but we also sometimes absolutely, how dare somebody tell me I should or should not do anything? How dare somebody tell me? How dare somebody tell my kids? How dare somebody tell my family? And sometimes we get that attitude. Now, we may not say it like that. We try to be meek and mild and color our language, just like Meghan and Harry trying to be victims when, what? You're a victim? Since when? Next station. Right? That interview should have got like 3 views, But it's absolutely, it's insane. But we do this also, and we need to self-evaluate and see if our mind, Romans 12, we're not supposed to have the mind of the world. We're supposed to be transformed. We're supposed to have a new and fresh mind. Jesus came to not just, get us a heavenly retirement package and plan with great real estate. He came so that we will not be like the world. We don't have to be entrapped by the mindsets of the world. We don't have to walk according to the world. And when we do, we are of the carnal mind, the worldly mind, the secular mind. We are actually God's enemy. It is an affront to God. James, the book of James tells us, right? The friendship of the world is the enemy of God. The carnal mind, Romans tells us, right, it's contrary to the things of God. So does Galatians 5. We can't do the things that our normal secular self would want to if we're truly filled with the Spirit. And this is one of the ways that we know when someone's actually walking in the Spirit. It's not enough to 40 years ago I I uttered some words in tongues, and now I have the Spirit, and I'm locked in. The Bible tells us to be led, L-E-D, led by the Spirit, walk in the Spirit. And the Bible lets us know when we're doing that, we're not going to fulfill our secular, normal, carnal desires. So if you see people that are supposedly filled with and led by the Spirit that are just fulfilling their carnal desires, the Scripture actually tells us those people are not walking by the Spirit. So it gives us a test to know, am I walking by the Spirit? Are you walking by the Spirit? We can actually test it. We can look at it. And so I'm just encouraging folks today, don't get this mindset. Don't buy into, this worldly, secular, it's really terrible. One of the most blessed nations ever to be on the face of the planet, where we have now turned victim status into a virtue. We are now, glorifying offense. We are now, who can be the most affronted, who's been the most hurt and harmed. I mean, we're so blessed. We gotta make stuff up. I mean, you're a blessed nation when your trials are mostly contrived. Just somebody offended me, and now I'm gonna blow it up into like some horrible, egregious thing because everything's going pretty well. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say everything's probably going pretty well, and in the way of like, again, being healthy, wealthy. They're not under some great oppression. I'm pretty sure Harry and Meghan aren't concerned that there's going to be a group of bandits show up at their house and take them out in the street and shoot them and kill them because of their faith, or because of this is the thing. People have lived through this, and people do live through this today. People go through real oppression today, and in America we're so blessed we have to make up oppression. And so I'm just encouraging the people of God, don't do this. Don't buy into the worldly mindset. Don't be carnal. Don't be secular. Turn off Netflix. Get off social media. I'm posting this on social media, so, But the point is, get on social media if what you're going to be doing is trying to reach people with the gospel, of course. If you're just kind of connecting with family and but get out of the cesspool of, I've got my political side, you got your political side. I can't wait to get out there and, smack people in the face with my Facebook post, or the drama, or the feed me, next video, entertainment. These are all ungodly things. They are ungodly. They are worldly, which is against God, feeding our flesh, feeding our carnality, feeding our secular selves. This is against God, and I'm calling to the ecclesia, the true governing force in the world today, the real church. We use that term, and it's so watered down, it's so polluted. I get it. So I'm using the word ecclesia to kind of try to drudge up some original thought, some original, like, let's go back to the OG church. You know what I mean? When Jesus said, I'm going to build my church, my ecclesia, this is what he had in mind. He didn't have in mind a bunch of secular, carnal jokers showing up at the church on Sunday, maybe once a week. When you look back, maybe not, maybe like half the time. And crying a little bit and hearing a good talk, and then, woo, I'm part of the church. That's not what he had in mind. And I'm asking people, begging people, encouraging people, don't do that. Be what Jesus had in mind. Pull away from the things of the world. Seek the face of God. Reach out to people to share the gospel, evangelize, do ministry, and don't be a bunch of victims. Let's not do this. Jesus said, bless those that curse you, right? We're supposed to pray for our enemies. If it's true, what Meghan and Harry should be doing is praying for them, reaching out and saying, hey, you know what? This happened, but we're family and we love you. And maybe we don't want to be royals anymore. I can understand. I can totally understand that. But hey, you know what? We forgive you. That's what should be happening. Not going on Oprah and whining about offense and just, it's festering. And again, as the church, if that's the mindset we take, we spiral downward, just like our world is now. Our world is spiraling out of control, and this is one of the reasons. We're too secular. We're too involved in it, me, my, I, us. We need to be more God-centered. We need to be more God-focused. I'm sacrificing for God. I'm devoting time and energy and effort, sacrificing money, sacrificing. I would like to be entertained by this, and I'm not going to. I'm getting off of. I'm not watching any entertainment for a couple of weeks just to purge my mind and focus on God. These are the things the church should be doing. And pulling away from the world, not embracing the world as much as we can, and still try to squeak into heaven. That is, you don't find that in the Bible. You don't find that attitude anywhere in the early church. What makes us think that's going to get us what we want in the end? And when we get to the end, it's too late. So my thought is, let's look at the Bible. That's not in the Bible. Let's not be like that, just in case there's a reason that's not in the Bible. Just some more food for thought. But I'm going kind of long here. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I hope this has challenged you and blessed you, and really encouraged you to pull away from the world. You're not being weird. You're not being well, you are from worldly standards, but you're doing what God wants you to do when you turn the junk off, when you get off of social media, when you pull away from being so secular and so worldly all the time. You really are. You're doing. Other people may laugh. People, oh, what are you, holier than thou? No, but I would like to be holy. Oh, what are you so righteous and so pure you can't hang with us? No, but I would like to be righteous and pure. All these things that we worry about, people thinking like, oh, we're worried about what a bunch of carnal people think about us. We should be worried what God thinks about us. All these things we do, and I do it too. And that's why I know what people think, because I think that way too. I'm a person. But we really do. We need to strive for that holiness, strive for that closeness with God, strive for that consecration, strive for righteousness. I know I'm using a bunch of Christian curse words here. Consecration, righteousness, holiness. Cursing up a storm. But that's what we should. That's what we should be doing. So I love you guys. I'm in this with you. I'm right there. I got that pull on me too. I want to be doing stuff that my carnal mind enjoys this, man. Just turn everything off and just enjoy and just entertain. But I understand the struggle, and I'm trying to encourage you. The struggle is real, but we can do it. We can do it. So don't buy into the mindset of the world, even if Harry and Meghan and Oprah are all telling you to, and giving a horrible example of how we should be living. Obviously, it's great that we don't have to take our example from them. We can take it from Christ and from his people and from his church. Love you guys. God bless you. Don't forget, subscribe, comment. Want to hear what your thoughts are on this. Give us that thumbs up, and we will catch you on the next video. Hey, what's up, guys? Hope you enjoyed that content from BreadBreakers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. Definitely follow us on social media. We're going to throw up a couple of suggestions here on the screen for things that we think you might enjoy. As always, God bless you, and we'll catch you on the next video.